Whatever we ask, we receive because we made an altar call and a confession. Does it say that? No. Because we guard and keep and do his commands, which are what is pleasing in his sight. Amen. He is not impressed with the words coming out of your mouth. He's impressed with the actions that you produce because of the beliefs in your heart. If those actions are of the truth, of the Torah, of Yeshua, of the Word. You know, he said previously in verse 16, he says, by this we know love, because he laid down his life for us. Laid down his life for us. He says we ought to do as he has done. You guys can't even lay down any pet doctrine or some other belief thing or whatever. You can't lay down anything. I'm not putting down anything for anybody. Forget about laying down your life. Can you lay down your need for everybody to agree with you, your need to everybody to be like you, your need for what to fill in the blank? It doesn't matter how ridiculous it is to other people. It's serious to you. You need people to whatever. I don't care what it is. And you're not going to be happy till you badger people and push people and pressure people and judge people into doing it. But here it says in verse 16, going back there a second, he said, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brothers. I don't know that people are even able to lay down anything for each other, let alone their lives. I think some of you, it would actually be easier for you to lay down your life than your pet doctrines and your beliefs. It'd be easier for you to just, fall on a blade for somebody than to do that. It's sad. Now, I'm not talking about compromise. I'm talking about you. I'll give you an example. Let's say you wear a head covering. Well, let's say you don't wear a head covering. Doesn't matter. Whichever way it is. And you're in a congregation where some people wear it and some people don't. You keep doing what you do. That's your integrity. What you don't do is need them to do it the way you're doing it. Come on. Do you understand what I'm saying here? I'm just giving kind of a simple example. You keep a certain calendar. Let's say you keep the crescent or the conjunction or whatever. And not everybody in your congregation does that. Well, you do what you do. But you come and be with the congregation anyway. And don't badger and give grief to everybody that's not doing what you're doing. I don't want you to compromise your integrity of what you feel strongly about and believe. You just don't need to impose that on anybody else. Oh, but Rabbi, what are you doing up there at the microphone? I do have a job to do. My job is from the microphone to preach this as strong as I know it. However, once I walk away from the microphone, I'm not going to pressure any of you to do anything. And if you've ever counseled with me, you'll know that's true. I will give you what I think the Word says, and I'll encourage you to go study what the Word says, but I'm not going to try to make you do anything. I'm going to encourage you to walk in integrity with what you believe, but to keep what you believe and always in question, always be testing and retesting and reproving what you believe, so that you can always know, because you know what, we talked about this before, we should talk about it again. We'll do the little exercise. Have you ever been wrong? Every hand goes up. Any chance you'll ever be wrong again? Every hand goes up. Now, when you were wrong, were you ever wrong about something that you knew, but you still were wrong? Amen. Any chance that'll happen again? Every hand goes up. So if it's possible that you can again be wrong about something you were so dead sure about, ready to fight about and everything else, then you ought to be pretty confident that you need to be rechecking and retesting everything, because it's possible you're wrong again. Yeah. This is important that we get that. Yeshua, when he returns, I promise you, is going to say something that you're going to go, really? You're kidding, right? Because you were so sure it was the other way. Yeah. Yeshua is going to do that. Now, bear in mind, when Jesus shows up, he's going to do a lot of that, and you've got to just realize it's the wrong guy. If you have no idea what I just said, listen to Beware False Prophets. But I couldn't resist saying it. But realize when Yeshua shows up and he's here, there's going to be some things that he's going to teach. And when the word goes forth from Zion and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem, that you're going to go, man, I thought I had it right the other way. And it's not going to be about Sunday and Saturday either. It's going to be about something much more minor, like a head covering or not, or some other thing. Because I promise you those big things, we've all got that clear. Sunday ain't it.